what evil lurks in the hearts of men.
All right, guys, I just, I had to stop that because tonight's topic is rather serious. And yeah, I love the shadow, but I don't think it's, I don't, we're into something a little bit more serious tonight. Not scary, serious. All right.
Oh, for unprepared, it's curious.
Mm-hmm. All right. And let's see who else. Okay, we've got Rusty Traditions in here. Hey, guys. Lisa Lee. Oh, you're using Southern Ohio prepping here this time. Not, I am bedtimes with Charles. Okay.
Confusion ensues.
Mama Z's here. Michael 58. Christy Betts.
All hail Queen of the North.
Lori Jean, yes. And Kathy, North Star Prepsteader, Southern Blessed Homestead. Hey, guys. All right. So tonight's topic came about because
Homestead engraving.
somebody, trying to remember who now.
Cecilia.
No, it wasn't Cecilia.
No, I'm reading the people who are showing up in chat.
Okay.
You keep thinking, I'll keep reading.
Okay. Hey, Cecilia. Hey, Josh. Somebody sent me a link to a video. Say, hey, I got to go watch this video. And I did, and I was floored.
Hey, Josh.
So let me go ahead and put this back up here. So for tonight, we're going to be talking about what is going on with the food banks. And before I saw this video, I was not aware that there was a problem going on with the food banks.
Excuse me, you were not aware?
I was not aware that there was a problem currently going on. I knew there was a possibility of something happening, but I did not know there was a problem going on.
We need to remove the sunblock over Gil's head so he can see things again. He's been living under a rock for far too long in that little state he calls home. He needs to go back to California to get a glimpse of how tragic things are getting.
All right, so let me bring... Okay, dang it, I forgot to correct that one. All right, I went and did something and I forgot I was going to have to fix it. So give me a second here as I fix it.
Josh came to your rescue. He said you were busy laying pipe to give you a break.
Yeah, actually, today I was busy planting 6 planters, raised planter beds. 2 of them are in romaine lettuce, 2 are in spinach, 1 is in beets, and the other one is in Grand Rapids lettuce. So I got the video up here now, and let me get to the point where it's going to start.
Jerky. That's what I did today. I planted jerky.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to put this up here, guys. How many people we got in here right now?
I'm showing 14 at the moment with 13 likes.
Okay. So I'm going to show a video without any sound on it. For those of you that are wondering here, first a second, let me grab this back. This is the name of the video. And
there you go, Kathy. It's done. Turned out great.
All right, that's the name of the video, and it's on MHP Gardener's website. I mean, channel site, his YouTube channel. All right, so let's go over here and take a look at this video, and take a look at your watch when I start it until the time when the cars end. Okay, so we're going to start it here. And we're paying attention to these cars on the side. This is another lane. These cars are not empty. They're not parked. There are people in them. That's a line of traffic. All right. And he said he's already passed one sign saying, certain lane closed. So let me go ahead and start this here now. And I'm at 207 on here, and as you notice, as we come forward here, the speed limit sign is 55 miles an hour. All right. And watch all these cars that are going by as he's driving up here. And trying to figure out why all these cars are in a off on the side here in the right hand lane there, just in line for something. And he couldn't figure out what it was with what things were going on. And they get about halfway up here, and on the video he goes, "Isn't the food bank up here?" Or his wife goes, "Isn't the food bank up here?" And he goes, "Yeah, but that's up around the corner, up a ways away. They wouldn't be lining up for the food bank." Okay. So it's been a minute. So that's basically a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop for the signal here, though. And he paused the camera and started it again. Yeah, so. You're looking at all these vehicles. Yeah. And the sign said food pantry, use right shoulder. And they're still going along. And there's the the food bank. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this.
So approximately 2.5 miles worth of parked traffic waiting to get into the food bank.
Mm-hmm. And he gives a good narrative on there. All right, thanks, Kathy. And yeah, this is, he gives a good, concise, calm narrative about what he saw. And then let me see if, okay, let me go back here. So what they did is they went up. I'm going to start again. So they went up and they turned around and came back. They couldn't believe it. So they videoed it from the other direction all the way. I'm going to jump at 30 seconds, jump at another 30 seconds. So there's the end of the line down there. And yeah, but he gives a good narrative of what's going on. And it's kind of, personally, I find it really scary that,
what state was that?
I'm looking at one of the license plate, can't tell.
Guys, that's in more than just one state. That's in multiple states.
Yeah.
Virtually every single state has a area where that is happening.
And he says normally for this food bank, food pantry, whatever you want to call it, that the most he's ever seen cars in there is like 14 cars in the parking lot, most ever. So, there is a serious situation in certain parts of the country. And I'm not going to go into the political reasons why some parts of the country are having worse times than others.
Can I? No, I won't.
Let me put it this way. It has to do with what rules in some states, what is deemed as an essential job and what is not deemed as an essential job, going from state to state. And we'll leave it at that. But this here, I'm tagging off of what was on Wednesday night on Dave's when understanding the supply chain and how it's going to be affected. Well, right now we already have a supply chain that's being affected by families that are short on income and going to try to get relief where they need to get it. Now, some of the cars I noticed in this line they're not fancy cars.
They're well kept.
but they're very well kept. There are some in there that are well kept and older, and there are a couple older crappy cars in there. So it's spreading, it's covering the spectrum there. Now he made point that MHP Gardner made point to pointed out that he saw no Mercedeses, no BMWs, none of the high-end luxury cars in that line. So
it's in every single state. Just some areas aren't seeing it as bad as others yet.
And the areas you're going to see it the worst
are your low income and poverty and urban ghetto style areas.
Yeah. I was going to say your cities, your big cities.
Stupid cat.
Where you have a big spectrum and where you're going to have more people put off work, movie theaters, malls.
Areas where the
like
population density is 25 people per 500 square feet. Yes, it's a slight exaggeration, but you get my point.
Yeah.
High densely populated areas where people are basically living shoulder to shoulder, you're going to see this. My problem with this is there are people who on TV claim, I've been sitting here 12 hours with my car running, an air conditioner running, trying to get food. This is my third place. Dang, for all that gas you done spent, I could buy 2 to 3 weeks worth of food for my house. And I could feed 4 people with the 45, 50 bucks you just got done blowing in gasoline sitting on your booty, waiting for free stuff.
Now,
because they had to put gas in their car to do that. Yeah. So that means they had the cash to go do the same, go spend.
Or a credit card they're maxing out.
Right. I mean, just me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people in this complex who are running to food banks and they've got in excess of $1,000 in food stamps. I'm sorry, that's something that sticks in my craw a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So Mama Z says that he's in Virginia.
He never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So MHP Gardner is in Virginia.
Well, the problem is, Kathy, those people who are sitting in line, they're getting, if they're fortunate to have worked and they're getting unemployment, they're getting an extra $600 a week in their unemployment on top of the $200 to $300 that they're, getting from their job. And then they're going to stand in line for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, going to 2 or 3 different places trying to get free food. What in the flip are they thinking? These are the people that are causing those places to have hardships, causing people who do need it not to be able to get it because they can't get out of their house. Now, if I needed it, if I wasn't as well off as I am, I wouldn't be able to get to it because by the time I found a ride to get to somewhere, they'd be out anyway. So I still wouldn't get nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So, not to belittle any of the hardships that the honest hardships some of these people are under. I understand some of them are. Some people, unemployment has a max rate. If you make so much money, it cuts off. And if you were on a job that was making twice that much money, you're used to that income, even with that extra 500, you're still way friggin' short of what you're normally used to spending for what you've built up in your monthly charges you got to meet.
I don't know. The last time I had to draw unemployment, I pulled $263 a week home because of the job I was working.
Mm-hmm.
That $263 a week plus the extra $600 they're getting right now would make me $863. I could live high off the hog for a couple months doing that with no problems. I have no incentive to go back to work because I'm making more on unemployment.
Well,
that's the problem, especially down south in Georgia, where it's been on the national news.
Yeah.
There are people who are drawing their unemployment. They refuse to go look for work because all they got to do is dial the telephone number. Yes, I looked. Yes, I looked. Did not get a job. Click. They got more money.
Yeah.
They can lie on the phone.
Yeah. When I was working construction 30 years ago, and during the wintertime, we get laid off. What I earned on unemployment, even if it was tripled, was a drop in the bucket compared to what I was normally bringing in as an operating engineer. I mean, actually, you could probably, 10 times with that amount is basically what I was normally used to bringing in.
Right, because unemployment doesn't count overtime hours. It only counts your standard 40. So if you're working a
Yeah.
job where you work overtime and a lot of it to where
No,
you actually bring in a
yeah,
lot of money, it doesn't
yeah.
count it.
Well, 30 years ago, I was as an operating engineer, I was making 70 something dollars an hour.
Right, and it caps
Yeah.
out at what is it?
Yeah, unemployment caps out at a certain point.
Yeah, it caps out like $12 back then. That was the most you could
Yeah.
claim. And even then, you only got part of that in your unemployment check. So they cut you down to 12, and they actually rate you at like $8 an hour for your actual unemployment check.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, anyways, what I wanted to say is that so there are some people that are actually are suffering. I understand that, and my heart goes out to ones that are honestly suffering, honestly trying to do something. But then I also look at what's been going on long before this. And this is something that sticks in my craw when I would see it and hear people about it. People on welfare or whatever complaining that they don't have enough money to go to that, yet they got the newest, greatest iPhone or Samsung phone.
Don't get me started.
And it's like, wait a minute, why are you guys spending all the money on this instead of on what you need to be spending on? That brings me back to a point I used to talk back then at the preparedness fairs. Everybody needs to have a budget. They need to live within their means. If you have 5 or 6 credit cards, you need to get rid of those extra credit cards. I have one credit card. It's paid off monthly. It has been for the last, since I got married. So that's over 30 years. That's another reason why I love my wife. She's an accountant. Anyways, that's another story. You have a budget. You figure out what you really need, not what you think you need.
Well, I need a lot of stuff.
And not what you want. And some of these people go, well, I got to have the newest thingamajig. Why do you need the newest thingamajig? Why isn't the one you bought 3 months ago any good anymore? Because it's
pretty.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not the newest. It doesn't have all these extra bells and whistles on it. Does it make a phone call? Does it text? You're good.
I can't do my selfie pictures with my boobies hanging out no more.
Anyways.
Or my booty hanging out.
Yeah, homestead, engraving, and business life. Yeah. Business and life. Yeah. Debt is dumb.
Trust me.
At my church, we're taught there's only 2 things that you should go, or 3 things you should go into debt for. 1, buy a house.
My phone.
2, buying a car that will handle your family. 3, education to get a better job. That's it. Right now, I mean, thanks to my smart wife, the house I bought before I met her, she refinanced it and got us paid off, and she refinanced it for 15 years. And we actually wound up paying only $58 more a month than what we had been on the 30-year mortgage. She's great. So that's paid off. All our cars are paid off. The only thing we're in debt for right now is the Idaho property, which is dropping fast because she's making double payments on it. And the tractor we have here, which is getting down low because we need a tractor to be able to do everything on the compound here.
Will, you're going to put yourself right back in the hospital trying to scare yourself looking at us on that big of a TV.
Yeah.
Back on the tablet, you're going to wind up having a doggone heart attack.
Will, surprise! Okay. But on a serious note, it can be done. Our kids' college education we didn't have to finance anything for it. We budgeted. Yeah, we didn't go out to the movies, 3 nights a week. We didn't go out to dinner 4 nights a week. We didn't go out partying. We didn't do a lot of stuff that we found out we really don't need to be doing that.
Hey, Holly Garden.
A good movie comes out, we go see it on the bargain matinee, or we wait till it comes out on DVD, and we buy it the first week it comes out when it's on the super sale. Or we wait another 6 months and get it used from Redbox.
Hey, Will, distancing wouldn't be an issue if you weren't on such a big TV. Go back to your old telephone and we'll look really tiny and look really far away.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree, Mama Z, you're correct. It is
Yeah.
overloaded.
Yeah.
But it's overloaded because we have people who think their pocketbook is more important than your life and put money above all else. Therefore, when they say, oh, we really want to make a couple $1,000,000 this year off agriculture, but our farmers really just don't cut it. Let's get the government to subsidize us. We'll have certain farmers plow their fields in. We'll make $1 billion a year, and we'll actually import stuff from overseas for a cheaper dollar.
All right, so guys, homesteading and engraving, and I think it's business and life is the full name. These guys right here. So go check them out. They're I guess a new to the community here, so we need to support our community. And don't forget, ring their bell when you go over there, and set up to watch a couple of their videos. Find out all about them. All right. So sorry about the cough. I've been out in the yard, and that brings up the other part of this. So on this video, talking about the food bank and the lack of food that people have, I know you guys have heard me the last couple live streams harping on planting a garden if you can. If you have a garden, enlarging it, double it if you can. And then last Wednesday, 2 days ago, on Dave's channel, we had the one about the
supply chain.
Thank you. Keep wanting to say the logistic chain. If I say that, that's going to get people lost. They can try to look for logistic chain on yours instead of supply chain. Anyways, there is going to be at least a short food shortage, even if everybody goes back to work here shortly.
Like I said, and I've said it a few times now. Matter of fact, I said it clear back in February that if this happens and they don't put everybody back to work ASAP, it's going to be a long drawn out thing. The sad part is, with the current amount of truck drivers and fuel stops and various other places currently not open and servicing the trucking industry, even if they open everything, the 28 food plants across America that are currently closed, yes, there's 28 of them. I just looked a little bit ago. Even if they open them all up, it's still going to be 2 weeks before you get to see it at your level.
Yeah. If you looked at if you didn't see Dave's live stream from Wednesday, go back, because I put up a lot of pictures on there showing some of these warehouses. And the one Walmart warehouse, how long did you say it took for them to fill it up?
From empty to full takes almost a full month.
Okay, so it's going to take almost a full month to empty it out.
No. Believe it or not, they can empty out a warehouse in less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
With the current supply and very little demand, right? Let me rephrase that. The current little bit of supply and the very high demand, had that backwards. It doesn't take long to empty out a warehouse.
Yeah.
Because instead of getting 1 truck a week to a store, now they're sending 2 and 3 trucks.
Yeah. So the thing I want you guys is now, guys, I want to make this point really clear so everybody pay attention on this one. This is not for fear porn. This is not to get you fearful and frightened. This is to get you to think about something, a possibility that you might not have considered before. This possibility is that there may be a food shortage, but what I want you to think about is, do you have a plan to deal with it? If not, start thinking. Start looking around. Start getting with others. That's why I've been telling everybody, if you don't have a garden and you can, put one in.
Simple tip. Go to
oh.
Facebook, type in Community Food Network. Type in farmers market for your local area.
Yeah.
Start connecting with people in farmers market saying, hey, look, I can't plant seeds, but I've got this big bucket full of seeds. Can we work something out?
Yeah. The other thing too is, something my daughter is doing that some of you may be able to do. All right, she gets these for her kids, these big plastic containers. Well, she's been saving them. I started saving them for, months and months and months ago. And she has a bunch. And guess what she's using these for now?
Planters.
Planters indoors. Speaking of cookies, I'm going to have a cookie.
My cat would climb inside and not be able to figure out how to get back out. Then she'd pee and poop in it because she got scared and couldn't get out. Then I just put the lid on, throw them both out. Exactly.
Well, if you guys have the ability to can meat, do it. I went to, what was it? Thursday. It was Thursday, yesterday. I went to Walmart again. I'd already been earlier this week, and I picked up a couple cases of canning jars. I went back and I got 3 more cases of quart jars. And I got 4 half-gallon jars because they were loose. They were singles. They weren't in a case. It was in a case of 12. I would have gotten a case of 12. It was in a case of 4. I would have gotten a couple cases, but they just had them loose on the shelf.
You didn't see what I posted to Discord, did you? Let me go pull up a picture. I took a picture of I walked for you guys in very cold, wet weather to go take a look at my local Walmart's canning supplies.
So, if you can, the half gallons, those are great for canning an entire meal, a beef stew meal, whatever type of stuff where it's canned, and all you got to do is pull it out, reheat it.
And that's the problem. Without a community coming together with local butchers and having the butchers go approach these folks saying, look, hey, we've got 500 people out here willing to pay for half a hog each, they're going to wind up butchering all of it.
Yeah.
It's going to.
Okay.
We can.
Is that me or you freezing up? Who's freezing up, me or Dave?
Probably me, although you're lagging behind. I see your mouth moving, then I hear voice.
Okay, so how much of a lag? 1,
about 3
2,
seconds.
3.
Down to 2 seconds.
All right.
It's because I'm trying to open something. It might be me.
Okay. All right. Okay, they're saying Michael says you are. Sue says no one is. Cecilia says Dave's freezing. Okay.
It's my
right,
fault.
sporadic. Just so long as I'm not losing my internet again, which will take me out for about 4 minutes. Anyways, yeah, if you can meals, great. The hogs that are being butchered, there should be a co-op, somebody trying to contact those farmers and say, and offering them some money so they're not losing total money on it, even if it's money under the table, so they, can get stuff out there. And okay. Yeah, sorry, Will. I was outside working hard. Today I planted those big tote raised planter beds I've been making. I planted 6 of them today. So, and I finished fixing one up real nice. I'll have a video on it here in a couple days.
There you go.
On the stuff.
That's my local Walmart's canning supplies.
What? Where?
I shared it.
I don't see the share popping up here.
I do. Shows up on my end.
I don't have the thing here to click the share showing up. There it comes. It's coming. Okay. So that's the camping supplies. Canning supplies.
Yeah. So I mean, believe it or not, there's plenty of back there in the back. There's just a few small holes up in the front, but there's plenty of canning supplies. These are even the half gallons up top.
Yeah. Those half gallons on the top, they're loose like that. You know, they had like 10 of them there, but I only took 4 because if I tried taking any more, they would have gotten broken. So I really didn't have, I had to, be careful about transporting them home.
So yeah, I walked in cold weather just for you guys.
All right. Yeah, and that's the other problem too, is doing raised planter beds, you need more soil. Fortunately for me, when I was digging with the excavator,
that was on Discord, Kathy.
When I went after I dug the first couple feet off the ground, digging the ditch digger, when I went deep, I was in virgin soil that hadn't seen the light of day in millennia.
5+ years.
So I stockpiled some of that good clean dirt, and that's what I'm adding into my planter beds in with the soil mix and stuff. Ooh, okay. So the slaughterhouses only want pigs that are of a certain size. If they're too big, they won't take them.
That's right.
Jeez. I wonder if a local butcher would take it no matter what the size, because the local butchers do cows.
Well, see, Kathy brings up the point that 3 down from where you're at. A lot of these big farmers and places that do lots of livestock are under contract with major processing plants. They are not allowed to sell to anybody else. It's a violation of the contract, and they will face legal repercussions for it. But see, this is where those meat processing plants should step up to the plate and say, look, we're going to suspend the contract until this starts getting back underway. If you guys can sell it, go ahead and sell it. Rather than causing everybody to go deeper in debt, they need to get off their bus and say, look, Tyson needs to say, hey, all you chicken farmers, you turkey people, if you can sell it local, go ahead. There's no repercussions to your contracts. Your contracts will restart once the economy restarts. Once we can start shipping the stuff back out, we'll restart it then. But until that time, contract is temporarily suspended. I
wouldn't be surprised if there isn't some clause in there buried that if the plant is closed, they can sell elsewhere.
Most of them, it's not.
Yeah. Now, is that just to sell for processing, or can they sell for someone who wants a pet pig?
Processing.
So somebody would say, I want a pet pig. What's your biggest pig you got that I can have for a pet?
I haven't read any of the contracts, but I'd be very scared to do it. Hey, Uncle Al.
Yeah.
Night, Howie.
Yeah. Night, Howie. So, that's what I was thinking is that there's, talk to an attorney. There's always ways around most contracts.
Right now, most attorneys aren't taking phone calls.
And you might have the Red Dragon. Please don't come to our office.
Yeah, exactly. There's beef coming in from Nairobi. Of course, it's probably sitting at the container ports there rotting.
I just don't understand how they can get it here because I've hauled it before. I know how long it can sit in one of those trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of hard to sell 20,000 pet pigs, but yeah, got to look for the loopholes. But anyway, so my main concern here tonight for all of you is to get you guys thinking of the possibility of there is going to be some food shortages down the road here. Even if everybody goes back to work, Monday morning, there's already things happening. You got 27 food processing plants that are closed. That hurts.
Go get a cup of water or a bowl of water and go take your finger and put a small drip of water on it and then drop the water. And watch all the little teeny ripples that float out from that drop. That's exactly what's fixing to start happening. We're going to see little teeny ripples. And if you watch those ripples, the closer they get to the edge, they kind of get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, there are ways to prevent it from getting out of hand. The question is, are those people in charge that want to do that going to actually do it?
Yeah. Now, all right. So on the side chat, Will put out there about raising guinea pigs and stuff, chickens, rabbits, goats. My neighbor down the street here that I got all that rabbit manure from, he's overstocked right now with goats.
Time to build you a rabbit hutch.
And so, I told him, if anybody from the city gives him a hassle, him and his grandsons come over here and fence off part of the property here, and they can put the goats over here because I got 5 acres, and my property can handle twice all the goats he has.
They want us eating Soylent.
Yeah.
Soylent Green. I made my own. See, I made my own Soylent. So
yeah.
Good.
Target had a lot of lids. Actually, my Walmart had a boatload of the wide mouth jar lid. They had very few, if any, regular size lids, but they had an end cap solid of wide mouth lids, and they weren't overpriced. They said I don't think they were. They were $3.18 for a dozen.
Dave is.
Oh, all right. Mama Z is going to be making some sausage.
See, the sad thing is everybody around me smelled me making jerky.
Can I try a piece?
Sure. You want to try one? I gave out like 10 pieces already.
Mm-hmm.
I started with a pound. I have half of what I made left.
Dave?
Yes.
Have you thought of selling it by the pound or by the half pound?
I'd have to, in order to make a profit, I'd have to actually sell it by the few ounces. I'd have to package it similar to what like Perky Jerky does, 7-8 pieces in a bag for $13.95.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't go that high. I'd do it like 7, but
yeah.
Excuse me. But then it gets to the point where people want different flavors and they want different textures. Some want it thin and crunchy. Some want it nice and chewy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, now that's something else to consider, because back this last summer, one of the other channels I like to follow, Daniel Arms at Arms Family Homestead, they were getting goat jerky made.
Kathy, no, I did not use ground beef. That is actual meat. This is super thinly sliced. I forget what they call it, but it's just regular beef, but very, very low fat. There's almost no marble at all on it, because when you do dehydrated meat, fat is your enemy. You do not want fat because fat it will go rancid really quick.
Yeah.
You know, if you dehydrate meat, pull up a piece here if you look at this, you see almost no white in it because there's no fat. And that piece right there, well, if I put it in a bag with the moisture and oxy absorber in it, it'll probably last, a year, but it won't last that long in my house. I'll eat it first.
Yeah.
But you want no marbling, no fat. And you want to, depends on how you want to eat it. If you like it crunchy, then you want it sliced super thin. If you want it chewy, you want it about an 1/8 inch thick. Nothing thicker than an 1/8 inch. Otherwise, it will not dry out properly.
All right. So got a quick question here for those that are that are watching. How many came in after I played the video?
A few.
All right, guys. Do you want me? Wait for the side chat to pop up here. Should I go ahead and play that? I'll play the 3-minute video again, so you guys see what we're talking. What started this whole thing off?
Dun, dun, dun. Green giant. Oh wait, Green Giant sitting on his duff right now. He ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. What the heck?
Doo-doo-doo.
Come on, add to stream. There we go. So this was this video was on. It was someone told me to gave me the link to go watch this video on MHP Gardner's website last week, and I got permission from him to show it here. He said, "Sure, yeah, go ahead, not a problem." So he's driving down the road with his wife. Now, if you watch on the right here, the speed limit sign, it's 55 miles an hour. These cars are not parked cars. They are cars in a line waiting to get somewhere. Now, I'm gonna skip it forward a little bit here, 30 seconds.
No official note. He's got permission to use it.
Yeah, I got permission. I got the email and everything else. I got that saved. I got permission to use it from him. And so did someone else got the permission at the same time to use it. So it took let's see here. So notice how he paused the video and started it back up again at the signal there. So it took about from the time he started it, they went about 2 miles, maybe a little more, to get up. Now here it says food pantry traffic, use right shoulder. And that's when they began to realize, wait a minute, this is for the food bank. And yeah, so all these cars are in line for the food bank. You know, some of these cars are older cars, some are newer, and there's the food bank there. And so, yeah, he talks about it, gives a good explanation. He says he turned around, they drove back because they didn't believe what they got, and they filmed it going back the other way, all the way back to the beginning. Going to jump it again as they get going. And there, right there, and we go up, 1, 2, back up. And here they're getting to the end of it. You know, of the people getting in line, and people are realizing it too late, having to turn around, go back and get in line because the line is that long. And so that's what prompted this tonight's topic was that video there, and the fact that I got permission to use it from him specifically for tonight.
Gil,
huh?
I'm going to throw something in private chat.
All right.
And then you decide whether or not you want to disseminate that. I think you will, though.
Okay, hang on. Let me move some stuff around here so I can I want to pop this open here. Thank you. Take that link. Let's see. Throw that up there and let's see what we got.
And go to just news. Hit the news tab.
It is. It came up on the news tab.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to put up this link. I'm going to put
I'm going to put the number of results.
Okay. Hang on a second here. I'm going to go back to comments
Yeah,
here.
later.
See who else talking. Well. Okay, here's the link that Dave shared. Hopefully he'll take it. It looks like it took it. All right, and that's this link here. Go full blown on it. About 32 million results for food bank problems. Let me enlarge this just a little bit so you can, food bank problems. Wisconsin food pantries, New York Times, food banks overrun, Political, CNN, ABC, local news, The Guardian, all these different ones. So there's problems going on
in every single city.
Yeah.
Every major city, I should say.
Yeah. Because my city doesn't have any stores in it. We're only a quarter mile square. We are
food banks around in the areas where I'm at. There's 1, 2, 3 that I would qualify to go to had I the need. And they are literally empty by Wednesday, and they're only open on Wednesdays.
Yeah. So my concern is that everyone in here not get fearful, not panic, but thoughtfully, intuitively sit down and examine your situation. This is probably not a scenario you ever thought about, but think about the scenario of food shortages. Take inventory of what you have and come up with a plan to deal with it.
I'll be right back.
All right. And that's what I've been saying Dave and I have been talking about this since in February about the possibility of there being food shortages. So is Uncle Al. Uncle Al's been, putting it out there about food shortage problems, coming on once the Red Dragon hit the shores here. But lately I've been harping on a couple of the live streams about plant a garden if you can, even if it's an indoor garden, even if you're taking plastic containers, and after you're empty, using them for indoor pots to grow in. If you have a garden already, seriously consider expanding it as much as you can. My neighbor across the street, Curtis, who's if you look back to my old videos, his son was the one that was plowing my field with their 2-bottom plow. He tripled the size of his garden this year. So, and they bought goats, so they have goats over there as well. So, and we're in out here in rural Idaho. So, the farmers out here are taking notice. We went down to the local grain mill to buy some bales of alfalfa. They go, there's no bale alfalfa to be found around here. The only place I could find some was an hour north of us, up above Rexburg, up towards Sugar City. That's the only place I could find bales of alfalfa. Let's say don't want to know, ask Gil. I'm on Tranks, those and fishes. Homegrown is already going to be okay. Trying to see an old movie, trying to figure out what's going on here that I missed in the side chat while I was ranting there.
What, you want to say hi to everybody? There you go. Say hi.
Say hi.
Yeah,
that's just plain wrong. Fishes and loaves. Where they're giving out kids lunches for schools and they ran out, they'd come up with a better plan. Jeez. Greedy people.
Well, see, they kept trying to drop off. This week, they actually dropped off. Everybody's in the complexes at my front door while it was raining. I almost broke my neck trying to get out, and they had me deliver everybody else's food here. Because, oh, Dave knows everybody. Dave's so smart. Quit. I have a refrigerator full of stuff. I don't need no free food.
Yeah.
But, for the people that aren't home, I will keep it here. And then when I get home, I'll give it to them.
Cecilia's in Canada, right? Or is she in New York?
Yeah, she's canny.
She's up there with Lori and Howie and all our other good friends from the north.
Pooples and CR.
Yep.
And the Canadian prepper.
And Ontario prepper and so
the other side of New York.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like originally this year, my plans for this year was you saw my videos on the 55-gallon barrels I cut in half and turned into giant pots. I was going to just do 20 of those pots, maybe 22 of them.
And not the kind you smoke.
And that was going to be my garden this year because I didn't want to have to deal with everything else. Well, if you've seen the later videos, I've started getting these 200-gallon totes and turning them into big planter beds and making, from 200 to 100-gallon size, making 2 out of there. And then I went and bought 6 from my neighbor across the street. So I got 6 of them with the cages on them, and I, started using those. And I'll have more videos on that coming out here. My daughter's been, been doing it, and I've been working out all day in the windy, pollen-filled air today. So my allergies are acting up. But I am busy planning as much stuff as I can.
Excuse me.
For dealing with getting ready for the possibility of it hitting here hard.
How's it going there, Butch?
Hey, Butch. Yeah. So Butch has been watching them. He knows what I'm talking about.
I have no clue. I haven't spent a single minute on YouTube at all.
Put potatoes and stack tires. One of the best ways to use square footage. Yeah, the problem with stacked tires, those old tires start leaching chemicals into the ground. People used to do a lot of stuff with the planter bed tire stuff until people started getting sick, and they realized they had the soil testing and the chemicals were leaching out of the tires because that's not true rubber. That's a synthetic,
It's vulcanized.
Yeah, and that too. And it's Klingon as well. I wonder how many people got that little joke.
I'm sure a few did, but they probably just rolled their eyes and said, "Oh, really?"
Yeah. So
Behind me, I'm enjoying a malt. It was delivered for me. My one excursion this month.
Me.
And my cat's mad because I'm keeping on.
Now I know that one of the biggest national food banks is run by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the LDS Church, the Mormons, whatever you want to call them. They have their what's called Bishop Storehouse, which members of the church get from the bishop. After the bishop interviews them, find if they are in need of it, they get a list. They fill out an order, and the bishop submits it to the Bishop Storehouse. And a bishop storehouse covers an area where you got probably 100 bishops feeding into it. And they are restricting stuff. The LDS home canning centers are restricting to members only now. Members of the public used to be able to go in and buy stuff. They're restricting to members only because they're being hit so hard.
Another one is Matthew 25 Ministries. That's the one that's actually local to me. They're actually one of the ones that went and set up tents in Central Park.
I've seen make a 2-foot diameter fence. Yes. Okay. Guys, Home Depot, at least the Home Depots around here have stopped carrying it, but the Lowe's here does. You can get a roll, 150-foot long roll of concrete wire. It's 5 foot wide, 150 foot for $109 at Lowe's. That is comes in a roll. It likes to stay in a roll. But if you measure out, however big of a circle you want the circumference, measure that on there and clip it, pull it apart, and it kind of stays in a natural circle. You just twist the ends together. You can make yourselves some stuff with hay and straw, compost, make a raised, an open air raised planter bed that way too. And things you can get like strawberries and stuff and squash and stuff to grow out the sides of it as well. I forgot all about that.
Shame on you.
Yes, that was something that was in Mother Earth News 45 years ago.
Hey there, Keith. Didn't see you sneak in the back door. I thought I locked it. Hey, 9 to 5 life.
Yeah, 10 by 10 mesh. And so your squares are about, not even like 6 by 6 or, so at least the stuff that I get here.
9 to 5. He is live every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, daylight time.
9 to 5. What state are you in? Are you in Michigan?
I don't remember.
I know they're back east somewhere. I'm not sure if they're in Central or Eastern time.
They're
yeah,
flyover state just like me.
Yeah. So if you're in Eastern time zone, it's 10 o'clock. We start every Friday night. It's 9 o'clock every Tuesday night, Eastern time. Straw bales are not as expensive as hay grass, which is not as expensive as alfalfa.
He says Alabama, Michigan Sunday.
Yeah, he's heading up to Michigan. And Michigan is Eastern or Central? That's Central, isn't it?
If you're going up by Mount Pleasant, you need to stop by here and pick me and my kid up. I need a ride. Get out of this godforsaken state for a few minutes.
So, yeah, there is a lot of things you do for vertical planters. A 55-gallon barrel, you can take and you can turn that into a vertical tier planter and then grow out of the top. Or even if you have some of the skinnier 30-gallon barrels that are the same height as a 55, but they're skinnier. What people have done, they'll take and cut a slit in it about 8 inches to 9 inches long, and take a torch, heat it up, and take a piece of wood and push it from the inside, so that where you cut the slit in, it kind of basically blows out, makes a little pocket you can plant in. You put several of those all around it going down, so you have little things to plant in, one's above the other. You get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 rows of these on there, and then you can still plant something, everything in the top as well too.
That gives you too. You know what's not being bought a whole lot of right now, which you might be able to find cheap, maybe, is rain gutter. You can take and make a vertical wall with rain gutters, which angle out just a little bit when you mount them to a flat surface. And you can make yourself a little teeny garden with rain gutters.
Yeah. A second here. That reminds me. Rain gutter.
And Al and Mims is split, by the way.
Split?
Al and Mims.
Okay. Share this real quick. So yeah, here's some pictures, images for a rain gutter planter. I mean, vertical ones on fences. Come on, show. There it goes. So they put it on fences, different ones, pipes, gutters, and they slope them just a little bit so the water runs from one down to the next one runs. The water just runs through them all. There are a whole bunch of different ones out there, different ways of doing it. It's a good, easy, simple way to go vertical. You can even do it indoors. Instead of this being outdoors, you can put this indoors and do a fancy little thing indoors. So it's a indoor planter. Is
3-inch PVC pipe.
Oh yeah, they have them with the holes are drilled. So this is the pipe. The holes are drilled like here and here for drainage. They're not all the way around, so you can have the bottom will still carry water, and you can plant small stuff in there. Fill it full of your planting mix and plant in there, or you can just get the little baskets. Even just cut a hole. Just get the regular solid stuff and cut a hole in it and put a little basket in there, soil in it, and plant stuff in it. There's a lot of different ways of doing stuff. Let me think here. Sorry, I had a oh, here's one of the this is one for sale. But you can make one of these. I mean, this guy's selling it on eBay for $800. You can make it for a whole lot less. My wife has taken old pallet planter. Here we go. Several of them, and you just put a board in between and do it like this. Here's one that has a lot. They took it, they planted stuff through the front side. There's a raised right there, and some of them in between each thing, there's nothing. What they do is they take the fabric, the weed blocker material, the heavy duty stuff, and they staple. Go back. They staple it. They staple it to the boards on the front and back, and therefore it's just like the material's holding the soil there, and any moisture drips down onto the next level, drips down on the next level, drips down on the next level. And my wife has one loaded with strawberries.
Yep, an old refrigerator can work as a planter as well.
Mm-hmm. Take the door off, flip it on its back.
Help! I'm on my back and I can't get up.
So, all sorts of different ways of recycling the planter board materials and making tier boxes. There's a way you can get a lot of space if you're limited on your growing area to do it. Here's one of the ones that's at an angle. Some doing them at angles and stuff, and not straight vertically. Double them up. There's all sorts of different ways for you to get more growing space doing a lot of different things, whether it's gutters, pallets, PVC, or not even PVC. ABS, I believe, is cheaper than PVC. The sewer, the soft sewer pipe.
Mm-hmm. The point being, there's a zillion different ways to do it.
Yes, use your imagination and Google. If you have a question, Google it. But guys, please plant more food.
Yeah, I need free veggies over here, so keep planting, will you?
And don't just plant things just because, oh, this grows good, I'm going to plant it. And it turns out you don't like eggplant, or you don't like squash, or you don't like radishes. Plant the stuff that you like.
Borage.
Yes, borage. Borage is really good. If I ever get the video editing of what I'm doing down in the basement, borage you plant around the around the tomato plants. It chases off the tomato hornworm. Borage is a nice plant. Has a purple flower. The bees love it. In fact, in our garden in California, the bees get mellow when after they visit the borage. Borage plant. Look at that flower.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, these are pretty flowers. The bees love it, and you can also make tea from it. There's a bunch of different stuff that you can use for borage. Exactly, Cecilia. The only thing I have planted that I don't like is beets, and that's because Howie has told me I need to eat 1 beet a day to get my health better.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
So, and
Sir, what you eat?
I look at you guys out there as my extended family, and I don't want any of you guys being caught short.
At 6'4", I don't think I'm going to be caught short.
Never can tell.
Well, if somebody cuts me off the kneecaps, I guess you could say I got short.
Let's just share. Let's Lisa.
She said, try golden beets, Gil. Much different flavor.
Golden beets, huh? I have to see if I can find some of those. Mhm. Yeah, all right. The only beets I've ever had served was when I was a pre-teenager. My mom would get the pickled beets, and so I never had regular raw beets or other ones. It's always been she always get the jars or the cans of pickled beets and stuff, and so I'm trying to learn something new here without you doing the pickled stuff. All right, so boiled is still good. But yeah, Howie says you just get a raw beet and just eat 1 raw beet a day. Sort of like a carrot. But yeah, I hate to sound like a broken record on this, folks, but I'm worried about you. I'm worried about all of us. And we need to not only get ourselves growing a garden, but get your neighbors to grow a garden. Get them thinking about planting. Show them, on YouTube, on Google, the problems with food banks. Show them the things about the meat processing plants closing down. Show them Dave's live stream from Wednesday night about the supply chain and the problems and how long it's going to take for it to recoup. Cecilia, I was looking at doing that, and I was looking at several different juicers, and every time I find a juicer that looks good, all of a sudden it's no longer available on Amazon. I got about like 6 of them lined up there, and they're all not available currently. And when they do come back, they're higher than it was when I put it in. I wait for the price to drop. Price drops, and before I can ask my wife if I can buy it, they're gone. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, get your neighbors going. That's the thing is, extend your circle of those that are planting around you. If you can get your neighbors planting as well, cool. And the thing is, so if one neighbor wants to plant all corn and another one wants to plant all squash and another one wants to plant a bunch of carrots and some other, guys, get together, share, trade, plant what you can plant, what you're good at growing, and trade. It's called the bartering system.
Ooh, juicers are on sale until Mommy Day.
Her own juicers. Okay, hang on a second, guys. I gotta take a time out here. Let me get this typed in here quick before it disappears. It's HURON. M or N?
OM.
OM.
Haram.
Juicer. Huron HP Slow Juicer, Elite Juicer, and they're on sale where at? On Amazon or someplace else? Oh, they're the main company. Okay. Because sometimes they'll throw it up on the ones up on sale. The company will throw their own on sale on Amazon as well.
They might not be affiliated with Amazon.
Well, there's a bunch of them on Amazon here, but whether or not they're sold by them or not, don't know. Cool. I'll have to go looking on that. Funny, Keith. I never left. All right.
Flash, he moves so fast we never even seen it.
A tip. All right. Tip. They don't have. Okay. Golden beets.
Don't have red dye.
Don't have red dye. Kathy says she has the cheapest one. Okay. Try something here. Guys, I'm looking at it. If this works out, I'll put it up there.
Good grief, Cat, you got a big mouth. And that's something else to think about too, people. For those who have pets, their food's going to get shortage too.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the byproducts that's put in pet food comes from major plants that we use.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Okay. No. I don't know. Thanks. I don't want to. I want to look at this. Okay. So there are different juicers. So
What?
25% off this one, 20% off that one, 15.
That's mine.
30% off that one, 27% off that one. Nothing off that one. 30% off that one. Woo! So time to go shopping. Yep, there you go, folks.
What?
Yeah, Lisa. Yeah, I went and picked some 50-pound bag up for my daughter's dog and a 25-pound bag of cat food. So yeah, we need to probably expand that a little bit.
It's my intention when I hit Walmart next time to buy a couple extra bags of key food.
Yeah.
And then buy me some shish kebab forks.
You gonna shish kebab the kitty food?
I'm not gonna discuss that. But she's looking at me right now, and she understands human talk. Oh, she just split. Gotta fatten her up, you know. I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding.
I'm a bad boy. A friend, one of my teammates I used to work with, he's a naturalized citizen. He was born in Hong Kong, and he used to joke with us. He goes, "You know what we call dinner in China? Slow dog." What? Slow dog. Slow dog. Yep. If it's slow, it's dinner. So, everyone, yes, please help yourself. Remember, God helps those who help themselves.
And if you notice, a lot of people who are suddenly prepping like 6 months to a year ago, it seems like everybody suddenly got the unction to, I was thinking one day, and I swear the Lord told me I need to start prepping. Well, you know what? I think he was trying to tell everybody that, just a lot of people weren't listening.
Yeah.
Just like back in Daniel's time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, let me think. He had a few brothers. He had dreams.
Okay, I'm going to get a few people going ooh at me, but everybody stores kidney beans and white beans, black beans. The black beans, actually, when processed right, and you can do it at home, and add the right seasoning to it, make a fairly acceptable hamburger patty. Okay, so we got Albany Mountain Homestead is again throwing out the Excalibur, and Dave, you have the.
It's the knockoff of the Excalibur, and I just used mine today for like its 50th use. I made a boat of jerky.
Yeah,
but that's something else you can do. Get a dehydrator and dehydrate hamburger, and stow it.
Yeah. Yeah, in California, years ago, I put in a new front lawn sprinkler system and everything. I put some retaining walls around it to kind of level it off for my wife and everything. And I think it lasted about a year and a half. And the grass came out and a garden went in because it was nice and level for a garden. Well, she has a garden in the front yard, a garden in the backyard. And if you check out my videos on it in my gardening section, you'll see the tour of the garden. And she even added, my house in California has a driveway on each side of the property. It used to go all the way up and around and back, but the one just goes up on the one side where I parked parked my trailer and stuff. Well, my trailer's here, so my wife is getting these big pots from Home Depot, plastic pots, and she's getting them from Sam's Club. I think she's getting some from either one, but anyways, she sent me a photo, and there's all these pots out there now full of plants and stuff.
I'm sorry, Butch, but I can't help but laugh at that.
I've been dehydrating.
Old school. Good evening, young lady.
Hey, Martha. So, Martha, I finished the video. It's edited. I will post it first thing in the morning. So, yeah, Martha has tagged me on the 10 questions on the current situation. And so I'll be posting that video tomorrow. And then Steve at Corsair's Trainer, if you haven't seen his latest video on the latest apocalyptic mask fashion, he just tagged me to do one of my own, a VR on it, for what my apocalyptic mask. fashions are. I got some pretty comical ones.
I'm glad nobody tagged me because I can't answer any of it. And I only got 2 masks, so I'm not breaking out anything that's expensive.
I forgot my other one. Yeah, so I got that other mask too. But yeah. I only worked 3 times before it. Quit eating. It's the talking about the
Yeah, see, I've had no problems out of my Wesson.
Yeah.
Now there is another one that's a knockoff of the Excalibur brand, and it has very poor reviews.
Yeah.
But when I got mine, it has fairly, and I mean I paid $140 for the one I got.
Hang on, I gotta find something here. A second here. Where is it here?
I'm not doing it.
I
I might do the 10 questions because, like Gil, I have some pretty comical answers. But
shoot, when did I do that?
what'd you do?
Crud. I gotta pull something else up here. Find out real quick here this way.
Oh, I just realized
That was.
it
was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. I did it.
What?
Where is it?
I just realized I have something that's illegal in the state of California.
A free will?
A plastic straw.
Oh, it's only no. It's only legal to sell them.
Nuisance. It was purchased at a store.
Hey, Keith, you got to do it first before you can tag somebody else.
Julie. Miss Julie, I sent you a message on Discord. I don't want to say it publicly, so. And no, it's not nothing nasty, folks.
All right, come on. There we go. Shoot, what did I do with that?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the, I hope it's this one here. Trying to find a special video. Not video, PowerPoint I did. No, it's not that one. Where is it? Food banks, this topic is Friday. What skills do you need? Dang. There it is. Got it. Okay. Yep, there it is. So this is throwback to Tuesday. We was talking about preserving your bounty and talking about went through all the different types.
Kathy, have a good night. Thank you for help.
Thank you, Kathy. Went through all different things, and then we got into the food dehydrators. Dave doesn't like this one where it blows from the bottom up because you got to change the things across. But there's your Excalibur. And then here's the, for those that are serious about the dehydrating, then you got one of these bad boys. Multi ones. And then let me go through the other one here. Then we had the freeze dryers. Freeze dryers is the other ones. Got this one. You got the current ones that Pennsylvania Prepper's using. And then the one that Dave wants to get.
Yep.
And then the one that Pennsylvania Prepper's buying next week. Okay, sorry. There's my joke for the night. But there's a bunch of dehydrators and freeze dryers in all sorts of sizes and shapes out there. Yeah. Those industrial ones, if you had one of those, you could have everybody that bring their food over and dehydrate it in one shot. Okay, I've used the trays from other broke down dehydrators for air drying, aka also called sun drying. If you got raisins or dates or cashews, it's great for that. So I want everybody to promise me that you're going to look to see if you can and if you can enlarge or start a garden. Enlarge what you're doing. If you can work more stuff in. Some of the more efficient ones don't use that much electricity because they got a bigger fan, which some of the new fans take hardly any squat for electrical usage, and they get stuff done.
Sorry, I'm trying to type on another computer.
All right, guys, there it is. Go over to Sand Hollow and look for his video on that his son built a solar dehydrator.
Cool.
So, and if you have a sun oven or have the ability to make a similar thing, you can do dehydrating stuff a little bit faster that way, sun drying stuff that way too, just simply on it. And unfortunately, I can't go over to his channel right now to pull up the video link on that video. And I can't even make Butch a moderator right now because the way my computer's overheating. Yeah, it's getting warm there. All right, folks.
Yes, you can dehydrate in your car. Especially if you live out in the desert.
Yeah.
Drying times are vastly increased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ask Reed at Manifestations of Imaginations about that. I bet he can dehydrate really fast down there in New Mexico. And Brastard, he's down in the southern end of New Mexico.
I've seen that too. You know what? You can also use those to put little teeny pots in and start your herbs in. Those little teeny ones that are about that big around, about that tall. Like a 3-inch tall, and they got a 3-inch mouth on it. You could put those in those little shoe holders and hang those on a porch so they get some sun and fresh air.
Oh, Brastard's here. Hey, how's it going?
Golf clap, golf clap.
Yeah. So he can dehydrate really quick in his car down there in southern New Mexico. Fishes and Loaves. I've seen them take one of those kid toys. It's like a ball, but it's not a ball. It's a bunch of wire loops. It has the little things, little wooden things that move up and down on it. Take those, stick those inside a pair of nylons, then add all the herbs to it and tie it off so the bugs can't get into it.
Hey, Brass, did you trip over with them landmines out there or just a shell casing?
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Butch at Sand Hollow has some really cool videos. He's on the western side of the state of Idaho. I'm on the eastern side. And what's interesting, we're both about the same, north to south, but because of the way the mountain ranges work and stuff, his snow melted 3 weeks before mine did.
Yeah, he's just teasing you. That's all.
He was showing pictures. And I checked the zone chart. Yeah, he's a zone warmer than I am.
All right, Lisa, thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Excuse me.
All righty.
One
So,
bad-
folks,
What?
unless you have something else you want to add to it, I think I beat this horse to death. And no, well, yes, you can eat the horse if you want to, take care of it up that way.
Ugh. I would rather eat my cat.
Hey, mule steaks are delicious. They used to sell them at the finer restaurants in Las Vegas,
That'd be true.
and my dad used to provide them.
Thank God somebody came to their senses. Otherwise, we'd have wet markets here too. Ooh, I'm not supposed to talk about that. We can't say anything negative about dragon.
Yeah. But we can think it. I'm doing mental
Oh.
telepathy to everybody.
Ow, that hurt.
Sorry. I've been taking too many lessons from Spock. All right, Albany, take care. All righty. I think we're going to wrap it up here. And
You gonna put a colorful bow on it? Hey, I could put some. Come here. I could put some pink camouflage on it. Would that work?
pink camouflage is a legitimate camouflage to use while hunting. That color pink does not occur naturally in nature, and the animal's eyes do not recognize it as a bright color. It blends into the gray background. All right, so 9 o'clock Central, 9:30. Well, no, I want them in there early. 9 o'clock, set your alarm so that 9:30 you can go over to Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, and she'll be doing a sausage making class at 9:30 Central Time. All right.
Hey, old school. It's going to be made something similar to this for my pastor's wife. I'm making her a holster for her pew pew.
And that was not a real firearm. That was a plastic mock-up. You know how they are in live streams.
Yeah, see? No trigger. No slide. It's not real.
All righty. With that, one final thing to tell everybody
Hasta luego.
is to be happy, be safe, be smart, be prepared, and we will see you in the next video.